Meanwhile, the bill that triggered the government to reopen is now threatening a $28 billion industry.
The federal legislation severely restricts the amount of hemp-derived THC sold in products. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's because our state already passed its own regulations.
Your reporter Alan Janae joins us live with how the rest of the country could now follow Colorado.
Now, let's talk about why this happened here. It reverses the 2018 Farm Bill, which put limitations on the amount of THC content in hemp plants, but not in hemp products. So some products were being made with much greater concentrations and placed on the markets, and that is why lawmakers sought change. Sitting next to cans of her company's hemp-based beverage containing THC, Haley Jordan said the move by Congress was not unexpected, but
it's definitely scary, and everyone was pretty shocked in the hemp beverage industry.
The effect, she says, will be felt all over.
People in hemp beverage, but also farmers, people in marketing, all sorts of people are, their jobs are tied up into this.
But lawmakers who advocated the change in the law, like Mitch McConnell, say there was a loophole that has to be closed.
By taking legal amounts of THC from hemp and turning it into intoxicating substances and then marketing it to children.
The Fabric brand sells at liquor stores and online.
I think there are some bad actors. So we are 100% for regulation and making sure everything's right, and of course not marketing to children. And we see the liquor store as a perfect place for that.
But the legislation is a rash move, says Shannon Donnelly, who's an adjunct professor of cannabis at MSU Denver.
It feels like we have a almost $28 billion industry that we're just going to say can no longer exist. But I also see it as a larger play of the federal government trying to decide what happens with cannabis as a whole.
States without legalized marijuana ended up allowing hemp products containing sometimes more THC than is sold in Colorado dispensaries.
Which means 135 milligrams of THC could be in this bar. When you buy it in a dispensary, the limit is 100 milligrams.
Colorado passed its own law with THC limits for hemp products in 2022, but this federal law will mean even lower limits. Beverage makers like Fabric have a year before it goes into effect, but hope for regulation they can live with.
So we're just going to push forward and do the best we can to fight for reasonable legislation around the low-dose hemp beverage.
Governor Polis, who claims to be a hemp advocate, says for a party that claims to support business and job growth, they have a funny way of showing it. In fact, there are many red states that have significant hemp acreage under growth, and that would include Texas, Kentucky, where Mitch McConnell is from, and Oklahoma. So there will be likely pressure to readjust this. There could still be debate coming, and we'll keep watch. In Denver, I'm Alan Janae, covering Colorado First.
It is tricky trying to figure it all out. Alan, thank you.